Hello, beloved souls. It's Adele here. Self-love is something we hear about often in books, conversations, and social spaces. It means many different things to many people, and it is not always approached in the same way or with the same depth. In this video, I am not speaking about self-love as a concept to master or a standard to live up to. This reflection comes from a lived, integrated perspective, one that recognizes how complex, tender, and deeply personal this journey can be. If self-love has ever felt difficult, distant, or uncomfortable for you, I invite you to stay with me. There are very real reasons why that can be so, and none of them means something is wrong with you. When people hear the phrase self-love, they often imagine someone who feels at ease in their own skin, confident, grounded, certain of who they are. And when that is not their lived experience, many quietly conclude that they are failing at something fundamental. But for many people, the challenges with self-love begin much earlier in life. For some, love was inconsistent, conditional, or absent. There may have been physical or emotional abandonment, or the quieter experience of not being truly seen, accepted, or emotionally met. Others grew up with love that had to be earned through good behavior, achievement, compliance, or self-sacrifice. Some carry unhealed wounds from early years, words that cut deeply, labels that shaped identity, criticisms that lingered, or the experience of closeness being withdrawn without explanation. Over time, the nervous system can learn that love is unstable, conditional, shaped by approval or performance. And in time, love can begin to feel uncertain rather than secure, something that must be maintained or earned rather than trusted. During childhood and adolescence, identity is still forming. We learn who we are through the responses and expectations of others, long before we have the inner stability to discern what belongs to us and what does not. These early imprints often stay with us, shaping how we relate to ourselves well into adulthood. There is also another layer that is less often spoken about. Some people never truly felt they belonged, not within their family, their culture, the roles they were expected to inhabit, or sometimes even within human society itself. Many sensitive beings grow up sensing a quiet mismatch between who they are and the world around them. When belonging is missing, the sense of self can become unstable, and loving oneself can feel especially difficult when one's inner world was rarely or consistently mirrored, welcomed, or met with the same emotional depth. So, if self-love feels foreign or unsafe, it does not mean you are broken. It often means your system adapts intelligently to survive. And this is where the deeper importance of self-love begins to emerge. When we were never shown how to receive love without conditions, we were often not shown how to give it, to ourselves or to others, without conditions. Love can become tied to approval, performance, self-sacrifice, or a transactional approach rather than flowing from inner fullness. Over time, this can lead to patterns of overgiving, overfunctioning, and quiet self-neglect until love itself begins to feel like a burden, draining or exhausting rather than nourishing. And here's the key takeaway. Falling in love with yourself is not selfish, it is not indulgent, and it is not about withdrawing from life. It is about restoring balance. It is about including yourself in the love you already know how to give. This is where the return to wholeness begins. Falling in love with yourself is not about rejecting growth or forcing yourself to become a better version of yourself. Growth is part of being alive, and it unfolds naturally when guided by honesty rather than self-judgment. What matters is not whether we grow, but the place inside us from which that growth begins. When self-love comes from remembrance, acceptance allows your past, present, and becoming to belong in the same story. earlier versions of yourself are no longer mistakes to correct, but necessary expressions that carried you here. Growth begins to feel less like pushing forward and more like walking with yourself. Much of what we call healing is often framed as repair, as though something in us was broken. But healing is often a gradual process of remembering the wholeness that has always been there, beneath conditioning and survival strategies. From this perspective, self-love becomes an act of self-trust, trusting the intelligence of your unfolding and trusting that who you are now is not a deviation from your life, but a continuation of it. As self-trust deepens, you may notice subtle shifts. What once felt manageable may begin to feel heavy. Commitments that once fit may start to feel tight or restrictive. You might notice hesitation before saying yes, or a quiet exhaustion where there used to be automatic compliance. These are not signs of failure. They are signals of growth asking to be honored. Trusting yourself here may look like adjusting your pace, reevaluating commitments, or making small but meaningful changes to what no longer fits. When simply saying yes or no is no longer appropriate or sufficient, these moments are not withdrawal, but recalibration, ways of staying connected to yourself while remaining engaged with life. And as this inner trust strengthens, a new kind of listening begins. You start noticing the language of your body and nervous system: tension, ease, contraction, expansion. You gravitate toward what feels aligned and gently step away from what does not. This discernment is not about judgment, but about respect. In everyday life, this shows up in simple, human ways. Saying yes when something genuinely resonates and when you can give from a place of fullness, saying no when it does not, and adjusting or reshaping what no longer works. It can also mean allowing yourself to rest, or even to do absolutely nothing at times without guilt or self-blame. From here, self-love moves beyond ideas and into presence. You learn to be with yourself without constant self-correction, allowing emotions and experiences to arise without needing to fix, justify, or suppress them. Fatigue, joy, disappointment, and excitement are part of being human. They do not define your worth. This presence also involves softening the grip of external expectations. Self-love means recognizing social, familial, peer, relational, and workplace pressures without letting them define your pace, your identity, or your inner freedom to choose your own life. Relational pressures, in particular, can be subtle. The unspoken expectations to remain who others are comfortable with, to meet emotional needs, or to maintain harmony at the expense of your own truth. From this grounded presence, balance becomes possible. Falling in love with yourself is the stabilizing core of love, the foundation from which all other types of love can grow. When self-love is grounded, it supports your relationships, your work, and your connection to the world, allowing you to give without losing or exhausting yourself. And to support you on the path of self-love, these two inner orientation sentences can be held, not as affirmations to force, but as living reference points that quietly take root. I embrace the fullness of who I am, past, present, and becoming, with acceptance and gratitude. I give generously where it feels aligned, honoring my energy, boundaries, and rhythm. These are not ideals to achieve, but ways of remembering where you stand. Love itself is infinite, but your time, energy, and attention are not. When love is lived with balance and sustainability, every relationship and commitment receives the care it needs to flourish. Remember, the practice of loving yourself is not separate from loving life. It is a living foundation that allows all other forms of love to grow naturally and harmoniously. If this message spoke to your heart, May it inspire you to reconnect with yourself and deepen the love you hold within. Together, we raise the frequency of Earth every time one more person deeply loves themselves as much as they love the people and the world around them. See you in the next video, where we'll take another step toward health, balance, and higher vibration.